So last year, after my first trip to Japan and ahead of my second trip, I shared some of my favourite Japanese stationery items which I would be repurchasing. Now I'm heading on to my third trip to Japan soon, so I wanted to share with you again some of the new items that I bought last time, which I will be buying again, and also giving you some advice on how not to overspend and to overpurchase on things that you do not need or things you already have. And just before we start, if you are new here, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. I have lots of videos about Japanese stationery and I can't stop making them, so there will be more coming up after my next trip. And with that, let's get into it. I'll move all of this out of the way and we'll go through everything one by one. So let's start with the pens. I think it was on the last video I made about what stationery I would purchase in Japan again, where someone recommended me the Emott fineliners, and I really love these pens. There were two different sort of themed coloured sets when I was looking at them, so I might pick up the other set, which I think was a bit more pastel, but I really enjoy writing with these. I'll insert some footage of how they write, and one thing that really stood out to me with these pens was how they are different to other fineliners. So usually with a fine liner, you have a nib which is prone to breaking or splitting or bending, whereas these have a more sturdy nib, and I really appreciate that. So you don't have to worry about how hard you're pressing, and you don't ruin your pens so easily. Next are the Clickart pens. I really like these. I initially just picked up the black one, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, if it will focus. So these are just sort of a felt tip marker, and once you click it, it goes red, and then when it's not in use, it goes back to its normal color. Now I really like these, and they're really fun to write with, and I really like using both of these pens together. I'll use the Clickart pens as like a bold heading, and then I will write underneath using the fineliner Emott pens. And now you can see I have quite a lot of these already, and I really do love using them, so I will be looking for more colours. However, I bought one pack, I think of 10, and then I bought a second pack which had these really fun sort of fruity designs on them. However, I didn't realise that I actually then had multiples of the same colour. So this one in the lovely watermelon is actually number 33, which I had already purchased. So one thing that I am going to do before I go is I'm going to take some photos of all the colours and the codes of anything that I want to buy more of, including like the Uniwall 1 pens, which I really like, just so that I'm not wasting my money or being wasteful in buying too many products, and making sure that I only buy colours that I would like a multiple of, or a replacement for ones that are running out, or to buy new colours that I don't have. So I really recommend both of these kinds of pens if you're into fun and colourful pens. So I'm deep into Traveller's Notebook. I love using it, and when I'm back in Japan, I love buying it because it's so much cheaper there. Some of the things I will be looking for this time are the Superior Labour brass tags, as you can see here on my Kurashiki customised passport notebook. And I also have one on my Tokyo Station. This one I put on myself, so it's not as neat, but these are so much cheaper in Japan, and I love how they look on the notebooks, and it helps stop you getting a crease at the elastic mark here. So I really love getting these, and I think that they are great to like accessorize at the top or anywhere on the leather, so I will be picking some of those up because they are just more affordable in Japan. The next is the folders. So I only have the regular size folder, which is for storing your inserts. This one's for my Invader Instax photo files, which I have a video up on my channel if you'd like to see me find some of these invaders in London. They are little bits of street art that's hidden all around the place, and so I've decorated both the folder to store the inserts in as well as the inserts with the little invaders. But I really enjoy this system, which includes these little bars here which you place through the middle of the insert, if I can find it here. So where you would normally have the elastic, you use that, and you can see that it does store 5, or it can store up to 5, but once you start filling it with chunky notebooks, it sort of fills out very quickly. So I'd say maybe if you have really chunky notebooks, you might be able to fit 3 in here. But they are really nice little folders, and I have plans for a passport size one, which I want to put Eki stamps on to store my Eki stamp notebooks. But when I first bought this folder on my first trip to Japan, I wasn't sure what I would use it for, and now that I have started to use it, I'm going to buy more because I know that I will continue to use it. So I think in my planning, I want to be very purposeful and meaningful in the things that I choose, and not just buying everything because I think it's going to be functional for me when I haven't actually tested it out yet. And I think one thing I will always stock up on when I go back to Japan is the number 28 card file, which is the one here that I store the Instax photos in, but I use it for other journaling purposes. And this one is actually one that I did buy at the London Graphic Centre for £7.70. They are at least half price in Japan, so I will definitely be stocking up on these when I am back. Another repeat from last year is the kept cases. I bought 2 more of these last year to store my washi tapes in, but I really want to get some more of these for other purposes, so I need a new cosmetics case for when I travel. And they are just the perfect size, and I really love all the different colours. I like how the back has this sort of mesh look, and they are so durable and really, really handy. So I will be looking for more of these and maybe looking at the other sizes in the kept range. Something that I bought last year was this King Jim sticker file, which I desperately needed to store my stickers, but as you can see, it's quite chunky. And I think that it is actually not really fit for my purposes. So when I am back, I know that in Japan they have lots of different sort of folders that you can use to store stickers in. So when I go back, I'm going to be looking for a solution, because it's fine for these sort of pages of stickers, but it's when I have sort of the flake stickers or these like letterpress Traveller's Factory stickers that it kind of gets a bit bulky at the bottom. So I'm looking for some sticker folder options when I'm there, so I probably won't buy this one again, but I will be looking at other sticker folders to help me store my ridiculous collection of stickers. Speaking of stickers, and sorry for the reflection of the lights here, I picked up these stickers actually I think at the Miso Paper pop-up, and it's because I previously bought a letter set in Japan with this character on it, and I was so happy to see it again. I really love this cat with the little red beret. And so one thing that I've been doing is I'm sort of on a stationery buying ban. However, if I see something like this that I really want to find again in Japan and I want to remember it, and also I want it right now, I've been buying little bits and pieces like these stickers and also like this little paper pad, which I picked up in Paris, which has these really cute characters on it, because I wanted to remember the name of the characters or the series that they belong to. So something that I will be looking out for when I'm back in Japan is these characters, and looking out for more little bits and pieces with these particular characters on them. And speaking of characters, although this doesn't really count as stationery, I do find that it is very tempting to buy plushies and quite big bulky things when you're in Japan of your favourite characters. And one way to remedy that, or what I do and what I will do this time as well, is if I really want to buy something with a character on it, I will either buy a little hand towel, because I use these all the time. So I've got this Miffy one and this Totoro one, which is super adorable, so that, you know, I have a useful and practical item that has the characters on it and I know that I will use it. So if I want to resist buying a plushie or something super cute, I will try and buy a character hand towel or a sticker. Much like in my traveller's journal, I have the Miffy sticker, I have the Mofu sand, and these are to sort of alleviate my desire to buy big, cute plushes, is that I have something that I can still carry with me, either in my notebook or in my hand towel, to enjoy the cute characters after I leave Japan. Another thing I wanted to buy in Japan is a diary for next year. I actually didn't buy this in Japan. When I returned in January, I realised that I needed a diary for the first time in a very long time. I haven't had a physical diary for years, probably a decade. But keeping up with all of the videos that I'm posting to this channel, I needed to sort of plan ahead and plan the days where I had time outside of my full-time job to make and edit these videos. So I really enjoyed using this Hightide monthly diary, and I will only show you the unused month because everything else is really messy and I do not write in my diary to share on Instagram or to share with other people. It's purely scribble for me. But I really liked this layout with the notes on the side, the bit of notes on the bottom, and I really liked this size, and I liked that I could like put stickers on the cover and sort of make it my own for the year. However, I have had to use this little brass tag to make sure that I'm going to the right month every time I open it. And of course, all of the diaries for next year started to be released in September, October. And I fell in love with a new diary, which I could not wait to buy. So I actually ended up ordering this little Midori pocket diary, which is so cute. I just had to get it immediately because last time I was in Japan in December, a lot of people buy their diaries before December, so there wasn't a lot of stock around, so I was worried that this one would not be in stock. Although, as you can see, it does say that it is 814 yen, which is about £4, and I think I paid £8 for it. So it is a lot cheaper to get them in Japan, but I just didn't want to risk it having sold out by the time I got there. And it's this little diary which has such cute little cats on it, and there's like a whole story. And there's a whole story about how this like new cat came into the household. I had to translate it from Japanese, but I just thought it was so cute, and I like that this one has the tab down the side to flick to the month, and it doesn't have the same amount of space as my previous one, but I'm mostly using it to keep tabs on when I'm uploading, when I have time to do the work, as I said, around my full-time job. And it just makes me very, very happy to look at these adorable cats. One thing I will be looking for in Japan though is a desk calendar, and I previously talked about the Eric calendar, which I really, really loved, and I hope that I can find that one again because last year I either couldn't find it, it had already sold out, or I just wasn't in the right place to find desk calendars, so I did end up ordering one online. And it was this one, which I did talk about in a video when I showed both the diary and the calendar. But as you can see, I stopped using it in July because it just doesn't speak to me. It wasn't really something that I look forward to pulling off every day, because sometimes I think the size of the illustration just gets a little bit muddled. And they're nice, but I didn't really know what I was looking at some of the time. And because the explanation of the location is in Japanese, I couldn't be bothered to translate it every time. So it just sort of fell by the wayside. So I'm looking forward to finding a calendar that sparks joy when I'm back in Japan. So the last thing that I will be looking for when I'm back in Japan is a goshuincho. Now these are books that you collect goshuin at temples and shrines, as you can see here. And I actually bought this goshuincho in a stationery store. You can of course buy them at the shrines and temples themselves, but I really liked buying this one in a stationery store because it gave me a lot of different options of colour and styles. So I will be looking for another goshuincho when I am back because I'm almost finished this one if I can find the right side. So I think I have 6 pages left. So this was the last one I got last year at Meiji Jingu Shrine. And I have a couple of videos about goshuin up on my channel if you'd like to learn more. But as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 empty slots left. So I am looking forward to filling the rest of it up next year. I'll just show you one of my most beautiful goshuin, and I will be needing a new book to continue to collect goshuin in. So I will see if I buy one at a stationery store or if I buy one at a shrine or temple. But I really recommend, if you're looking for a goshuincho and you're overwhelmed by which shrine or temple you're going to first, or if you would like a specific colour or style, to look in Hands or Loft for your goshuincho. So that's it for this round of stationery I will be repurchasing when I'm heading back to Japan. Please let me know down in the comments if you saw anything here that you would like to purchase when you visit Japan, or from your local stationery shops which may stock Japanese stationery. Maybe you could ask them to stock the Emott pens or the Clickart pens or some of these stickers, because they are all so lovely that I want to buy them again. So I can't wait to head back to Japan and then share with you what I find there. So like I said, I'm going to take pictures of everything I already have so I don't double up when I'm back. and I hope that you enjoyed having a look at all this stationery with me, and I will see you again soon with more. Bye!